All right, Devin, are you ready to learn how to cut an onion?
I'm excited.
All right, so I'm going to use explicit instruction to kind of show you how to do this. So first I'm going to do some modeling, and I'm going to use these steps, all right? So let's review them before we get started. So first, here's my onion, all right? What do I have?
An onion.
All right, so first thing we're going to do is peel the onion, which means we're going to take all that brown stuff off, all right? Then we're going to slice it in half from end to end. Now an onion, I don't know if that's exactly what they're called, but I consider this an end and that an end. So where are the two ends right there?
Those are the ends.
Very good. So we're going to slice it in half from end to end.
Okay.
Then we're going to cut off one of those ends.
Great.
All right. So we have to always remember about our ends. Then we're going to slice the grains to the middle. So look at this onion. Look how it has these different grains in it. It's kind of like a big little pumpkin.
Yeah.
We're going to slice in those grains all the way to the core or the middle of the onion.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're going to chop it. All right. So help me out with this. First, I'm going to choose a knife. My favorite knife is not here, so I'm going to use this knife.
Okay.
All right. Bigger the better. Okay. And what's the first one?
That one.
Yeah, that one is like, well, that's a bread knife.
Oh,
All right, so
okay,
bread. Yeah, that's why it's serrated. All right, so what's the first thing that we're going to do? All right, so I don't need this. So we're going to take this onion, and what do I need to peel off of here?
The outside, I guess the brown layer?
Yeah, the brown layer, because I don't really want to eat the brown layer of the onion.
I don't believe, guacamole with the brown layer.
Yeah, you know, it's just not how anybody does it really. Yeah, so get all that brown stuff off of there, and that one peels pretty well. All right, got a little bit of just brown on the skin of that, but you see how that's going to be okay to use. Okay. All right. So what's the second thing that we're going to do here?
Slice in half from end to end.
Now remind me again, what are the ends?
Those are the ends.
Those are the ends. So I'm going to take out my knife, and now when I'm holding this onion, whenever I'm going to use what I call the claw, okay? Because if I have my fingers out like that, that could be bad news. So the claw is going to like keep my fingers in from getting caught by the knife. So I'm going to claw the onion and cut from end to end, just like this. Okay, all right, so what did I do? I sliced it in.
From end to end.
Yeah, I sliced it in, and now they're in half, okay? I'm going to worry about that half later. I'm going to focus on this half right now. Now I'm going to cut off what?
One end.
One end. So it doesn't really matter which end you choose. I'm going to just do this one. Just cut it off, put it over here. We don't need that anymore. So what's the fourth thing that we're going to do?
We're going to slice grains to middle.
That's right. So the grains are these things here. Can you really touch and feel those grains?
Yep.
All right.
Totally get it.
Yeah. So we're going to, it's exactly like a little pumpkin. So we're going to take those grains, and I'm going to take my knife and just go all the way to the very middle of the onion, just like this, okay? And if they pop out a little bit, that's okay. We're gonna come back to those in just a minute. I'm gonna just turn it around so I can cut the grains on this side of the onion, all right? Now I don't cut off the end yet, because the end is holding all of those grains together, just like that, all right? And now we're almost finished. The last thing we have to do is what?
Chop.
Chop. So I'm gonna turn my onion, do my claw again, and now I'm just gonna chop just like this, and pretty just even sized pieces, and then all of these pieces of the onion that are going to go into our guacamole are even and going to be nice and delicious to eat. And then I don't really need that part of the onion, so I just toss it aside. All right, you ready to practice? Do one with me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, sounds great.
All right.
All right, Devin, so now we're going to chop an onion together. All right, we're going to do some, what I like to call guided practice. Okay, so we're going to go back to our steps.
Okay.
So let's remember, what are we going to do first?
Peel.
And you know, I actually already made this easy. I peeled the onion for us, okay? Then what are we going to do?
Slice in half from end to end.
And where are the ends on the onion?
Those are the ends.
Very good. Then we're going to cut off
one end.
One of those, and then we're going to slice the grains. And then what do?
Chop.
Chop. Okay, so I've got a cutting board, you've got a cutting board, and you're going to do the first part of this. So we've already peeled it. So number 2, we're going to slice in half from end to end. I'll let you use my favorite knife, and I'll use the little knife here.
Great.
All right, so if I'm going to slice it from end to end, you got to get your claw out.
Okay.
Claw out. Hold your onion and get it so the knife can go from end to end. And you're not just going to go straight down the middle of the onion. That was very good.
Thanks,
nice work. I like how you chop that from end to end. All right, now we're going to cut off one end. So I'm going to use this half of the onion. Use that half of the onion. Which end are you going to cut off?
I'll cut off this one.
All right, I'll cut off that one too. All right, get those there. Just kind of throw it aside. Throw it off the cutting board. We don't need that anymore. Okay. Now this is where it really gets really fun. Now we're going to slice the grains. So what grains are we going to slice?
We're going to go along this way.
Yeah.
The pumpkin thing.
The pumpkin lines. All right, so go ahead and turn it again. Kind of get it to a place that.
Like this?
Very good. That's nice. All right, now slice those grains all the way to the middle. Okay. Very good. Nice. Okay, maybe just a little bit gentler. That's nice. Okay, and then once you get about to the top, this is when I always like to kind of put that slice back in there. Just turn it around so that it'll be easier to cut the grains going this way.
Cool.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll do mine too. Wow, Devin, that's nice. nice. You really sliced those greens very nicely.
Thank you.
All right, so now I always like to turn my onion, and you're left-handed, right?
Yep, so turn it that way.
So you'll turn it this way, kind of hold that in, get your claw out there just like
Okay,
that,
yep.
okay? And now you'll just do very little, maybe like a 1/4 inch cuts all the way to the other end that's holding all of the onion together. Ooh, very good. Nice spacing there. Great, all right, and then just take that in part there, we'll just toss that aside.
Okay.
And then look what you've done. You've created all these little onion pieces. Those are gonna be so
Cool.
delicious in our guacamole.
Cool.
Nice work.
It has still some ends though, and I felt like mine fell apart a little bit more.
Well, you know, it takes a little bit of practice. So what we could do with those ends, well, look what I have here. Mine's kind of like chalk, like all put together. So I might just put that to the side. So you could either put them aside, or you could get those out and just do your claw again. Is it okay if I do this?
Yeah, you do
one for
it, sure.
And then just like do like little cuts just like this, so that's the same size. Okay? So we can problem solve there and figure that one out. So that
Okay.
looks really nice. That was a very good first effort.
Thanks.
Good job. All right, Dee. So we've talked a lot about chopping this onion, and I have this half, and I want you to like show me if you can do this. So then I know next time I leave, you're going to be okay on your
I would like to be better.
Yeah, that would be
yes.
better. All right, so it's already peeled. So we already peeled it, and
Yep.
then what was the other thing that we already did?
We sliced it from end to end.
Sliced it from end to end. So you're going to pick up here with step number 3.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
And so I'm going to let you have this on your cutting board, and
Okay.
you know you can use either of these knives. Since this is a small onion, you might want to use this smaller knife.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So the first thing you're going to do is do what? You're going to
Cut off one end. So
Okay.
there's one end.
Mhm.
Cut it off.
Very nice. I like how you put that to the side so we don't get that mixed up in our guacamole onion.
Yep.
Now what are you going to do?
I'm gonna slice the grains to the middle. I can do it this way. Is that okay?
Yeah, either way.
And I don't go all the way through, right?
Yeah, just kind of go all, don't cut all the way that end off because that's what's holding all the onion
Hold it
pieces together.
Okay. And that's the middle.
And then just turn it around and do it from the same thing on the other
Oh,
side.
actually, it's easier for me to do it that way. So I'll do
Okay.
it this way.
Yeah, you kind of have to figure out what
The
works
way it
best
works
for
for
you.
me, okay.
Yeah. Your knife positioning is good.
Oh, I didn't
like
claw it
Yeah,
enough.
make sure you got your claw
Yeah,
up there.
thanks. That's good.
You don't
Okay.
want a hospital visit.
No.
No.
We almost had one earlier.
Almost. And then the last thing you're gonna do is chop it. And just don't chop it, but how are you gonna chop it?
I'm gonna chop it like this way to the
Yes,
end,
to
right?
the end, like methodically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rah! No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No.
Just kidding. Sorry.
Nice. Very even cuts.
Got my claw. My claw.
Yeah. That's good, Dylan. You're very improved in your onion cutting. That's
Wow.
very nice. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna toss that to the side.
Okay.
And this is gonna be delicious. in
Oh
your
wow, that looks
guacamole.
really good.
I know, doesn't
Not
it?
quite as good as yours, but I mean, I'm
You know
closer.
what? It's a team effort. We're working on this together, and I think the more that you chop onions, the better you're going to get at it.
That's
It's this
awesome.
whole idea of practice.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
good
Sarah. That was
job.
really helpful.